What's going on, everybody? Welcome to yet another edition of Show Priority here in the Beyond the Summit studios. I'm Dakota, going to be joined by none other than Slime himself.
It's me, Slime.
So probably everybody already turning in and going, where the hell's Ken?
Where's Ken?
Who the fuck's that guy?
Help.
What the hell's happening? Get me out of here. They just dropped Dota Plus and my world is ending.
Yeah.
Let's take 3 steps back first.
3 steps back.
For anyone, for whatever reason, doesn't know who the hell you are, you're Slime of, more known of the Smash scene.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I've been playing Dota for like over 10 years now.
Yeah, which was awesome to discover. Like, I didn't even know you played any Dota at all before you were hired here. And then you came in like, I've known Dota my whole life.
Yep. And wait, so the beta dropped. Just a real quick little history. The beta dropped. I was like hype on it. I was there every day. I was on the ground floor. I remember when Silencer came out. Remember that?
Give me that key. I want to get in the game.
Very exciting. And I was just really into the scene until about, what was it, like 2014, 2015, I kind of dropped. I kind of decided to follow Melee a little bit stronger. And, this is only important for my perspective on the stuff we'll be covering.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, let's take Grant. When I left, it's like I left my hometown. And there was a guy that everyone was just like throwing tomatoes at, and he was like pooping his pants a bunch. And
that was Grant.
And that was Grant. And I'm like, I hope it works out for that guy. I come back, and he's the mayor.
Yeah, right?
That's what it feels like.
Oh, my God. That's such a good point to bring up. Because Grant, it's so funny.
I remember the
Grant's
Walmart
story,
flare on the Dota 2 subreddit. I remember everything.
Like, this guy's just the worst. Don't put him near professional Dota. He's a racist. He's a hater. He'll burn your daughter.
He had some problems. And now it's just like I turn on the Dota TV.
He's going down the Dota street like this.
Like, how's it
hey,
going?
everybody, I'm Mayor Grant.
And he's got his top hat, and he's flipping, coins to the youngsters. It's wild.
I'm happy it turned out that well for Grant, because Grant is a guy who's deep-rooted within Dota and has the history to be able to pull out and just loves the fucking game. Loves a bunch of games. I don't know. First off, Grant is probably the most proactive user in our Discord, for sure.
That's so cool. Yeah, he's always in there, causing a ruck.
If you want to see Grant in action, by the way, it's discord.gg/BTS. But he's in there not even just for Dota. Like, he's in the FGC. He's in Fortnite. He's got his hands in everything.
He's just always talking that sweet.
He's a good guy to have around. But that's enough about Grant. We'll get him the fuck out of here. But it's good. Now everyone knows that, you understand a bit of Dota, and if they're trying to hit certain marks with the show aspect of this, what they're trying to go for, essentially, or the story they're essentially trying to tell, which is a bit harder to tell than something like Melee, where it's a 1-versus-1 kind of competition. They may come in with a bit of a storyline, a rivalry, a history, all around encompassing like one person to be able to kind of get that head-to-head matchup. Here we have a whole team. You're doing media days and pictures. You're bringing in a whole team. You don't have that one person to just be like, come out of that shell. Give us a little bit of you. You have to like coax this whole team. It feels like an effort sometimes.
Exactly. And there's this weird buffer between those elements that is absent in Melee currently. And that buffer is basically what Beyond the Summit does, or what Moonduck does, or something, in where you're taking a team, filtering it into content or whatever, or even just an event like, say, ESL, and then passing it through into a final product. With Melee, it's just like game product. There's no in-between little buffer, and like not even team intros are a thing in Melee before a tournament, right?
Yeah.
These team intros, like, I watched all the content, and it was just like, it's just funny that there is an orbital sort of power that has to take this and filter it, and sometimes with bad results, sometimes with okay results.
It's crazy to think, like, in one scene, you could do any of this intro stuff, and they'll think it's like, this is esports, the best shit ever. Whether it be for Smash or for upcoming FGC event, Summit of Power. Oh, I'm stoked about that one. That's a community of people who are going to come in and just be like, we fucking did it, boys. Like, we get intros, we get player profiles and interviews. Like, usually that's for, like, the top pro players and stuff, and some cool laser effects. Whereas in a game like Dota and League that have been exposed to the pro scene for quite a while, and we're sitting here doing these shows, I've seen the same thing over and over again, or multiple times, or the same kind of thing. Am I getting jaded almost by that?
Jaded, and also it's like this idea of, do you really make it I know Melee. I hate making so many parallels, but imagine Dota was just like an underground like thing with no money. Basically, that's the big difference here. And it's like, is having esports intros really making it? And that's like more of a philosophical question, but some people say no, like that's because it's lame, or it's too corporate, or there's too much sheen and it doesn't feel correctly.
Yeah.
But that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah, it's people's love for the game where they're like, I love where it is, I love like the funky dirtiness of it and just the homegrownness of it, and or if I want to see this game elevated to the next platform,
want it to look like
be exposed.
NFL. Maybe some people do. Some people are like, that's hype. Some people are like, ew.
It's a crazy thing. It's like I want my dad to be able to see it from his fucking lazy boy. And it's like, yeah, but do you really want these games to be set out to that demographic at the same time? Because they're the ones that are going to be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You're watching people play games?
My dad still doesn't know what I do. He does it every time I go to a tournament or something. He's like, so you make any money from this? Yeah. No.
Dad, I've been homeless for 5 years.
God.
All right, so we have the PGL Bucharest Major. Feels like everything is a major because there's like 30,000 majors in the DPC. Now, there's like 10 or something. I don't know. There's a lot of freaking events, 20-something events. Another major. We just did a major last week or something, ESL's Facebook major event. Now, we got to remember a big note as we jump into this is a lot of people instantly are going to praise the fuck out of this event because it's on good old Twitch TV.
Yeah, it's kind of like a super buff. Like it's like that South Park where Cartman throws everyone out the amusement park, right? And then he starts inviting them back one by one. No one wanted to go before. Now they're like, well, it's kind of the same thing. You set the bar to 0, almost, and then once you raise it one notch, it's like everyone's like, oh.
There was praise threads right away.
That's so funny.
PGL.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on Twitch TV, which is what everyone's been on this whole time. Don't you dare try to explore new competition and competitors and platforms, which, don't get me wrong, ESL, they made the leap. We've already discussed this many times. I'm sure a number was thrown their way, and they're like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, let's do this.
And, the platform could have definitely given a bit more attention to make it a better viewing experience. By the second go-around, it was a bit better. Remember, it started with the minor, and then we got to see it at the major. At that point, everyone knew what we were getting into, so
yeah,
there wasn't as much like outcry of hate, but they're just like, I'm just not satisfied though.
Yeah, well, that initial first impression will always be there, especially with a community like Dota 2 or something just very massive like a MOBA or whatever. Like, you mess up once pretty big and people don't forget.
Oh, they don't. Not in this community. We still owe the community $30,000 for a Kickstarter, apparently.
That's right.
But no, it's crazy, and it makes it that much more important for TOs to kind of make that impression so that they do have the goodwill about you the whole way moving forward.
And in a way, it's a good thing that people are on their bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, if someone's like, if we mess this up, it could be curtains. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it makes them do better.
There's definitely a healthy competition within the scene and all the tournaments just trying to take it to the next level and forcing other tournaments to kind of play their hand and step it up to meet the bar. Now, with this event, I feel like a theme that's going to go on is they're matching the bar of what a major would be, but I don't think they really reinvented the wheel a whole lot here. They kind of just went with a lot of what worked, maybe some things we've seen before, a couple of new original ideas that I liked a lot, but I just would have liked to see more of.
Okay.
And then I felt like the ending just tended to be a little flat. So that's kind of my overall perception of this event so far, and hopefully as we move forward and check out a lot of the content here, it will kind of make a bit more sense. So that's what we're doing. If you guys didn't know what the hell show priority is we talk about everything that is not the game, essentially, about the show. We're breaking down the team intros.
That's why I can be in this.
Yeah, so everything that's not the game, everything that happens between the game, how you're able to stay locked in, all the extra little pieces of content, the features, all the cool-looking stuff. We're not going to talk about, oh, he picked Sand King in the second round. That's why they didn't do it. But, hey, congratulations to Virtus Pro. They won yet again.
Yeah, it's a lion, right?
It's, what is it, a bear? It's a bear. It's a lion.
Oh.
Already you're at the stake, right? You're at the stake right now.
I'm just bad with animals. Has nothing to do with my familiarity with the good squad.
That's true.
So,
All right. We'll get into it. Group stage. was how we got into it. Now, PGL, we were at the PGL studios in Romania, which we've seen quite a bit now. And we've seen it for other games, too. The PGL studio is like a namesake here. I've seen Paul Red Eye in the same spot doing Counter-Strike, doing Dota for at least 4 to 5 different events at this set. It's a good-looking set.
Yeah.
I've seen it a lot, though. They changed the colors for a new event. That's great. But, you know, I didn't even bother getting a picture because we've seen it a lot.
Is that a problem, like, from your perspective, or is it because, like, we actually produce stuff as well and we're, like, always looking for the next thing? Or, like, is a new color, is it enough?
I don't know. It's hard.
I don't know either.
Because, like, I love the system they have. It feels like they did their thing. They put in a lot of money. They set up a really nice-looking professional set that does everything you would need, whether it be 2-panel, 3-panel, 4-panel people, multi-camera, good audio, all the necessary bells and whistles to be able to achieve a good esports experience. But I don't know. How many times do we see it before it's like, okay, you know, when do we need a bit more?
Okay.
I don't know, though. I
But
feel
you
like
felt
it's fine.
that sort of gnawing at the back of your mind. Like,
Yeah, I guess I'm just a guy who's like, I want something different.
Okay.
And I guess that you'll see that as we go on with the rest of the bits. I'm kind of like, this is great. You know, I've seen it before, and it's good.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe this one's a bit better than the last time, but that's
right. Okay.
how I feel.
Yeah.
So I just
Valid.
tend to skip over the look of the panel here at the group stage. But what they did is, man, they got right into the content. I'm talking day 2. The content started coming out, and it did not stop. I think that this event had more content than really any other. It was everything. I'm not going to look at everything. We're not going to check out everything. I did try to list what I did happen to peep at, but let's not wait too much longer and at least jump into our first content bit.
Yeah.
They did a little piece just surrounding the team's arrival.
Yes.
So let's check it out there, Kevin. By the way, we have Kevin in house.
Big Kev. It is a polar bear. Snowy. We don't understand that here.
It's cold and wet, and the players, they're soldiers. The first thing I'm sure when players walk in is like, is there Wi-Fi?
Yeah, is there Wi-Fi? Let me get
Is there
it.
Wi-Fi?
Let me
And
get
can
it
I
poppin'.
watch streams on the Wi-Fi?
When did Kuro start buzzing?
A little while ago.
Yeah?
Oh, this whole team is starting to buzz.
Can we just talk about how male pattern baldness is a curse that will eventually come for us all?
I've heard that McDonald's fries will help with that now.
Yeah, I'm hoping, because it's getting pretty bad for your boy.
Rub this.
I'm just saying, it's like, did you ever watch Dark Souls? Or you ever play Dark Souls?
I haven't played, but I've seen people
It is
play,
it's the accursed dark sign, and no one knows why. It's all Gwyn's fault. I like
Well,
that.
that's
I like
fun.
him
That's
playing
fun.
a little bit.
That's fun. And I bet they didn't even have to tell them to do that. They straight up just don't.
That's not a good throw.
It's
I
so
remember
funny.
looking
you can
at
tell
that.
they're like, we never see snow.
Yeah.
But let's do what we see in the movie. Like, sir, cats have pissed in that snow.
Yeah,
Please don't
right.
pick it up.
It's purple slush. Please don't.
Please don't do that.
Um,
That's after freeze.
Yeah, that's actually really funny when someone sees snow for the first time. They're just like,
I'm gonna throw a snowball at you.
yeah.
I don't want to throw it at you. That's a fun little bit. You know, team arrivals, they happen. They have to happen, I guess, at every event. It's something that never
They
goes.
do have to arrive.
Yeah, it's something that never goes documented, though. It's just kind of like, they came here, but here PGL's like, we're going to get the cameras on them the second they step off that bus, that plane. We want to be in the ride with them going on. And, you know, I know this is something new, but what do you think about that?
It was nice. I feel like, I guess this is the point, right? But when I was watching all the content, I felt as if they were trying to put the top players on the camera all the time at the most times, you know, and I get it.
Yeah.
But at what point are you literally just putting a famous man?
Careful there.
My LaCroix, putting a famous man on the camera and just hoping that it's like, okay, this is good. And obviously this is a very easy like intro to do, and it looked really nice, and I like the vibe of it. But I guess that's sort of the next step of what I wanted to observe is at what point are you just like looking at top players exist and like clapping your hands? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
It's like I understand. We don't get to see it every event, so it's good for
So this
allowing...
is not very typical.
No.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. If it's a mix-up,
that's
cool.
what I was gonna. It's like, so the spectator, it's like we want to peep through that window at least once in a while to see what is it like when players show up. Do they arrive together? Are they, with their team? Do they have all their computer shit on them as they come out of a minivan? Like these people, people at home could be like, I don't know what goes down, and it's like, here, this is how PGL takes care of the players as they arrive. We have shuttles for them. Here's their nice looking hotel. As you can see, they have internet,
they have internet,
all
snow.
Of everything.
They actually just put a bunch of snow in the rooms.
Yeah. Check out the snow.
Yeah.
Check out the snow. And yeah, I understand what you mean about seeing a lot of the stars. That could be a variety of factors. Of course, you want to get the people that everyone is really going to the tournament to see.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know how big their team is. Maybe they can only make it to a couple of the player arrival shifts, and they're like, if we can only make it to a couple, let's make sure we hit Liquid, EG, all the biggest teams,
hitters,
and we don't have to go to that one. But they went to the heavy hitters and kind of got that footage.
If this is a mix-up and this isn't a piece that's typically used, I think that's pretty cool. But if this was like a standard, which I think it should be, right? Why don't they do this every time?
Just
if it's an easy pop.
Production requirements, how much of a team they have to be able to go out and get it.
That makes sense. But yeah, that's hype, and I like the vibe. And I like just throwing snowballs. Just a couple lads.
It's fun. Yeah. They're human. They're not just Dota machines. They have feelings too.
They have one of these.
Yep. All right. Continuing to truck on here, they got right into what must have been a pretty damn hectic media day. By the time you finish like all this content they were able to spew out, certainly through the group stage, I can only imagine they had a pretty decent staff of people, and if they didn't, much more impressive to them. A crazy schedule they had to like organize to get each team in an appropriate slot. Plus, some of these teams have like 2 or 3 bits. So are they like doing them all back to back? Are they trying to schedule that out without the whole day? Because, as we know now, doing like media days, you have to maybe try to factor that in with their scrim or practice time.
Yes.
It can be really crazy, especially for Dota.
The schedule gets insanely tight, so I can only imagine.
So they did a variety of like fun video content and live challenge activities.
Yes.
So one of the ones that I didn't grab is they did like a Romanian food challenge.
Okay.
Which we've seen food challenges before. Essentially, it's just like 2 players. They had a bit of food in front of them. One just offered the other to eat some like crazy Romanian
What's
food.
the primary Romanian dish?
I don't know.
Like quail? I don't know.
Quail?
I don't even know.
I don't know if anyone
Can I be real with you
quail.
for 2 seconds? I didn't know where Bucharest was until you said it.
Oh, yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm
Romania.
lost here.
No, it's okay. We got NA geography going. I didn't know where it was until I went there to do it at TI5 TI5 qualifiers. But I was at the PGL. I mean, it's a chill life. Let's check out one of their fun physical activities. All right, here, Slime. The sumo activity with Ninja Boogie from Mineski.
Yes.
I don't know if they did this twice.
Can you explain me like the lore? Is there a reason they're doing this? Because I have no context, so all I saw was a guy in a suit, and then Grant throwing pillows at him, acting like Tiny.
So I think, and there was 2 of these, and I grabbed the second one because the first one was a bit longer as they tried to explain the bit, and it sounded like one player is dressed up in a sumo suit with blindfolds, and they are going to be going into the Bramble Maze, which is Dark Willow, the new hero, one of her abilities. Essentially what this turned into is an opportunity to take this player, put them into a pillow fort, and allow the other team to beat him with pillows.
Yeah, okay.
And I think it was an opportunity for maybe the team that was knocked out by said player to beat them. So around that premise, I thought it was hilarious.
I see, okay.
But the execution, we'll have to see. Why don't we go ahead and check out
Let's watch
the sumo bit with Ninja Boogie.
Welcome back for another edition of Bramble Maze.
The mayor. It's the mayor of Dota 2.
This is a level
Slacks
25
himself
Dark
and
Willow,
Slacks Jr.
played by Ninja Boogie. Yes.
That's
okay,
their
welcome,
slime,
my
by the way.
friend.
Oh.
It is your job to make it through the Bramble
He's
Maze
tall.
by listening to your friends so that you can kill the support on the finish line coming out of your
Why the
Shadow
sumo suit?
realm. Are you ready?
padding.
All
It's like
right,
safety.
through
They
the
couldn't
maze.
get the
Bring him to the maze.
padding.
Okay.
But what Dark Willow doesn't know is that there are several
Why are his
heroes
nipples so
in
high?
his path trying to stop him from succeeding. The other team wants to prevent him from killing their support. Can he make it through the maze?
I mean, you just used
There
what
we
was
go.
there, and they just grabbed
Now
all the
listen
couches and like
closely
turned them inward.
to
Yeah,
the guy.
yeah.
He will tell you, but first, enter the Shadow Realm. Spin him! Spin him around!
1,
Yes!
2,
Yes!
4.
Okay, if he just vomits on the suit, do they continue? Do they show
I mean,
that?
they'll for sure. That's like a highlight-worthy clip.
Through the sickles.
Oh, he's going. This is a nightmare for him.
Tiny
He can't
coming
see.
in!
Like it's,
He's got a quarry to settle!
I feel like she didn't like know this was gonna happen. She's like, oh
Pretty
wait.
sure- I think she's the manager of the team,
No,
but she
Tiny.
still doesn't know what's happening.
Yes, because she had to like move, you know.
Go, Tiny! Oh no, it's Bane! It's the Fiend's grip! Nicktasha!
All right, Kevin, you can stop this right now.
Go!
Or at least put it in the background on mute. Okay, so like I said, I feel like the idea is good. It could have been set up something better, but essentially, if you can, so I got to give credit to Slacks and Mally on this one because I don't know if they're coming into this event and PGL's like, listen, we want 30 pieces of content
Right,
now
right,
or
right.
at this event, and they're just like, yeah,
shit. Okay,
we can do
we
that.
can do it, yeah,
we can
yeah.
do it. And so you see, opportunities like this, they go into the room, they see couches, and they just grab them. They use what is there, and they make something, which is hard as fuck. And, it's great that you have a team of, like, cameramen and editors who will just take what you throw at them and be able to turn it into something. So it's hard to be able to pull out stuff on the fly. I don't know what the pressure was for this event, but, in these kind of bits, it's just kind of like, the pressure might have been pretty high.
Let's assume it's high because, just the way this came out feels as if they were like, okay, well, we got this, and this. Like, let's start this one, and we've been on that crunch.
Yep.
And it's not fun, but you try your best. But yeah, the you know what, like for as like sort of low production it is, the vibe is actually very, very positive, and that's always a good thing. Like it's always a net positive to show people having fun and smiling, rather than like,
I mean, also though,
visibly
could you
like,
imagine if? But then I pose the question: what if the same piece of content and opportunity was proposed by someone that was not Slacks and Mally? Let's say it was someone totally new.
Right.
They'd be like, "Wait, you want me to what?
Yeah,
You want me to get this thing on and go in there and do this?" I'd be curious if they would play along as well, or
players, you
if
mean?
Slacks has just gotten to a point where he's like, "Listen, I want you to go in there, take off your fucking clothes, and we're gonna throw bananas at you." And they're like, "Okay, Slacks, let's go."
That's clout, dude. He's the mayor. They can't say no to the mayor.
Yeah,
that's
it's-
actually so hype.
The man has power.
That's awesome.
But I do want to say, if they could find a way to make the game where, and I see the premise where I believe it was the losing team having an opportunity to like haze or punish the team that knocked them out.
Yeah.
If you can find a clever way to do that, like that'd be awesome. Like, yeah, they're blindfolded and you got to go in there with like jousting weapons and beat the shit out
Yeah,
of
and
them,
just stab and stab.
really give them weapons and really take them into a room and film it and see what happens,
Yeah, put on LimeWire.
It's like the idea's kind of there, but the execution not. Maybe because of the requirements, maybe because of what they were left to work with, the time. I'm not too sure, but it was cute. So they did 2 of those bits. You can check out another one on their YouTube. I can't remember now who they did it with. I want to say Newbie, but all right. Next bit. Another one of these opportunities for allowing the spectators and viewers for home to see some things maybe they would not normally get to see, just like the Players Welcome. This one is a behind-the-stage tour of PGL.
Yes.
Which PGL does do a couple of times, or even Starladder. It's like, we got this big team, we got this production. Let's show you what we got, so like this is where all that passion, or maybe money or support is going to. You know what I mean?
It's cool to see, and it's also sometimes cool to see like, oh wait, this is just 2 dudes that do this specific thing.
Yeah.
These guys are warriors. Or look at this entire team, or look at this giant like 6-monitor rig they have. That's all just cool stuff that I personally am always interested in. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is that, but you don't really, if you were like, hey, listen, Slime, we want a Summit House tour video, so can you just do something for that? you're not gonna initially think, okay, we'll just get the camera to look around the house, put on some music, and quick cut it. Multiple events have done this similar style thing and have tried to find a way to make it super unique. And it's funny, the one that comes into my head, it also involves Slacks, is when we did like the Summit House tour with Slacks and Flax, and they did like the cribs thing. Okay. As they went around the house to show everything, show production and everything.
Yeah.
Other events may do the camera with cool music to show the whole squad. I think ESL does it that way. PGL or Slacks, I don't know who came up with the idea. They decide to do the figurehead, let's go together on an adventure and look at it. But it wasn't even just Slacks. They brought Slacks and a new guy or a new character, if you will. I can't remember his name. It's like Van Helsing or something like that.
But, that guy.
But the guy.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll be honest, it feels like trying to bring back the Lord Cuxworth thing. Did you hear about the Lord Cuxworth stuff?
Yeah.
It felt like that. So, let's watch it again, because I haven't seen it in a while since I've actually grabbed it. But this is the tour of PGL. It's kind of long, so I'll probably stop it.
It's been a long time you've been sleeping. I thought I'd give you a little tour of PGL here, so you can get a little acquainted to your surroundings and all that.
That sounds acceptable to me.
Okay, great.
Show me your work.
At every event, they want you to do these tour videos, but they're never really good.
That's
They're
the one
kinda
with the
boring.
mockumentary
so
style.
This time I thought I
don't
would
like
invite
60 for a
Vlad, the
mockumentary,
Impaler,
but,
to make it a little bit more interesting and fun. That was a really bad idea.
I thought the intro was so good. Like everyone really excited to see me.
All right, first things first, I thought
I believe he is featured in one other video.
Room,
yeah, it was,
I don't know.
I believe their longest one.
Oh, the other one is the longest one?
The Vlad one?
Yep.
Did I put that on the thing?
Yeah.
Who are these?
Did I link it or did I just acknowledge it?
Hey,
Oh,
what's your
okay.
name?
Well, we'll check that out later, I guess. Okay.
You've met me in Boston.
But let's say, like, if you're coming into this and you did not see that other piece of content, you're just like,
Yes.
all right, there's a guy with Slacks.
that's the one you actually
There's a-
listed that first, and so I watched this. I was like, yeah, the exact same feeling.
I am Vlad Impaler. He resurrects me after 500 years. Then he takes me to the social media room, and then he's not happy with
Kind of
what I
reminds me
write
of
on the screen.
Lacoste in a way.
I also liked Slacks' ability to
unique.
play off the cuff with the
Brilliant
social
idea.
media girl, because like
He's amazing at that.
he's really
You
good at
have
just
no
kind of
competition.
improv,
on.
which is good.
Yes.
You need
Hold on.
that if you're gonna be man on the street.
Sand.
Man, yeah, he is always thrown into the lion's den of random
great,
people and
buddy.
fans. So he's probably the best in Dota, I'd say, at doing that now.
So good.
And here is the editing bay. This is where they make all the graphics and they edit the videos. In fact, this is the man that edits all of our videos.
Yes.
And we-
Yeah, so it's good. We get to see like this guy, and this is the guy who is obviously getting
I-
shoveled all
Look
this
at
shit.
him. Okay, that was so sick. I like that a lot. Because he really did look like, what are you doing bothering me? And I was like, oh no,
Yes, how
like
could that have happened?
they're fucking with this guy, and then they put in the gag, and I thought that was really
You're
funny.
not happy.
Is this
It's
actually?
so good, so good. And then the slake. Don't worry, just walk
This-
by. We're only making a video.
I mean, that's pretty
I
funny.
think I
I'm not-
conflated or deconflated
Yes,
two
stop
things in my
laughing.
head. But
You're
either way, how long is this one?
Exactly. This is
It's a little long, so we're gonna
This
probably
is hot
stop it here.
fiber.
I'm glad we got to go into the editing den, but they kind of go
And
through
this
a bunch of the
flag-
other areas and some of the player areas. Here we get to see the talent area, for example. I think that's where the Bramble Nest also was. I want to say have multiple rooms that look like that.
Yeah.
Pretty cool
It's
setup.
the
though.
chill out zone.
Yeah,
Base
this is-
6. See
This
that?
is a good group stage setup, it looks like, for the most part here. For this particular bit, love being able to see these tour videos. The Vlad character that's added to it was very confusing, especially if you did not see the other piece of content. So I don't know if maybe you needed to kind of bring in some of the other content to remind people like who this character is. But I would think overall the character's not necessary. We loved Cuxworth a lot, but trying to force another Cuxworth out there, it's tough.
In this, I mean, again, I feel like I'm dumb speaking without the full context, but he says they raised me after 500 years, and then they bring me to this PGL studio, implying that he's the actual Vlad the Impaler.
Okay.
The historical figure.
Oh, okay.
Why? I don't know.
He loves Dota, dude.
He still loves Dota. I remember the battle bot named Vlad the Impaler. It ran the whole season for the whole time. Remember that?
No.
Yeah, it was just a battle bot that just came down with a pneumatic spike. Anyway,
BattleBots are amazing. I hope we have the future show one day of BattleBot reviewing.
it was on
but-
Comedy Central. You remember that?
Comedy Central had BattleBots?
Yeah, they ran the first season of BattleBots.
They also had Celebrity Deathmatch, which was another amazing battle.
That was MTV.
Show. Oh, that was MTV. All right, I'm just trying to pull out names now. For this one though, maybe they just had a outfit that looked like a Vlad the Impaler, and they're like, let's make it a Vlad the Impaler kind of ordeal. Who knows?
Yeah. It's. Is it Romanian?
Is it Romanian?
That's okay. You know what? That makes a little more sense.
Wow, I feel a bit dumb. Okay.
No, I didn't. I mean,
but how
I
many
thought
people are
Romanian
gonna
was a
know?
type of lettuce until today, so we're good. If that is a Romanian thing, that's a slightly better gag because he's gone down in the lore of the country.
Is so down with the lore. That's crazy. I
so-
think they needed to kind of say that more. Maybe they did in the other bit.
Also,
Now I
wasn't he
feel
like
bad,
a
but-
insanely like violent man? I don't know. They could have done more to
He
articulate.
should have killed someone.
Yeah, he should have just done it. You know, no halfway crooks.
Like the editor, instead of him, it's like and just
Yeah,
killed
and
him
he
right
just,
there. And the editor could just all right. You know, now that I hear that it's more Romanian
it's a little more tight,
I
yeah.
feel like he's not as just out of the blue. But I still feel like it was a bit awkward at times. Can't really help that. But good stuff. Still, lots of content anywhere they can get it. This isn't just player shit. Now they're like players arriving. Here's a tour, and where else can we go from here? So.
This frame rate is not good for mockumentary. It's okay. I am just a purist.
You mean at the look of that like talking head right
Yeah, it should
there?
be 24 frames for mockumentary style because otherwise it's too crisp and it loses that movie-like feel.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what you want to go for.
Feels like a heavy blur in the background normally. That's
the nice crisp bokeh.
I guess that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Dan and Andrew's job here. They like to make that shit look fucking crisp.
They
and
sit
clean.
there for
way too long, almost.
hot minutes, just be like.
That's when you know like they're trying to do it right.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
I
just
will
like real like passionate boys. You know what I mean?
You bring in players and they're like, okay, guys, and then they like set the shot and it.
and the players just like tapping their foot.
I'm like,
Sonic.
sorry, guys. I assure you, they're almost there.
Yeah.
10 minutes, they're like, hold on. Okay. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Not to say their crew didn't do it right or anything. It's just like it's a stylistic decision that sometimes it doesn't feel good.
We don't know like the
heart.
type of hardware that's available to them. Maybe they don't have the right camera or the right lens or the right lighting to be
Yeah.
able to pull that kind of, or the environment. I mean, that environment, they're doing it in the studio. There's shit moving in the backgrounds. During one of the talking head interviews, someone just straight up walks in front of it and they play it
I
off.
hate that. As a dude who does Man on the Streets, I fucking hate when that happened at a summit. Just walk by. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
I mean, you guys are like in the middle of the one like pathway.
We had a
there,
bad
but
spot, but you know what? Come on.
They know what's
no,
going
it's
on.
fine. It's the gig. It's the job.
For other fun little pieces of content that happened through the group stage, Jesus Christ, man.
I
He
spilled.
just
No one can see. It doesn't even look like I spilled.
dropped the LaCroix right all over the table here. Kevin is
This
sprinting.
wonderful merch that says Slime Cocks.
Nice catch. While you slop up your mess over there, we have there's a couple of other
There's no
pieces
mess.
that I'm not going to link here, but if you guys wanted to check out, you're more than welcome to, of course, on PGL's YouTube or Twitch page. They had vampire drawings with EG, which I didn't watch too much of, but they did some sort of like draw characters. The EG players all drawed some characters with the Vlad guy again,
the
and he was
Romanian.
it was another
mascot.
like Cucksworth feeling kind of a bit. So if you were into that stuff, go check it out. I tuned in because I was curious if Fear was going to do. I always watch Fear in these type of situations for EG because he's the oldest and he's the one that's just kind of really over this shit for sure.
Yeah. I noticed. I loved the EG like infomercial one, and it was fun. Like Fear's contempt is so real.
It is.
Like when he speaks into the camera, you're like, yeah, I feel like he meant that.
That other bit's probably my favorite bit almost of the whole event.
I love the
We'll check it
PUBG
out.
on the screen. That was pretty good.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
But in that one, he actually was smiling a few times, having a good time. Like they're playing into the bit real well. Also, there were just player interviews, so I'm not going to like showcase a player interview here, but if you're the kind that wants to know a bit more about your favorite team, Slacks was also doing a variety of interviews throughout the whole group stage, and they were doing recaps. So it's just like...
He's a hustler, man. Jeez.
Like, just what they did, from what I named in this first section, that's not even all of the group stage content. That would be like good for most events or a minor or something like that. Romanian food challenge, teams arriving, sumo playing games, a tour of the backstage, drawings with teams, interviews, and recaps. Like, that would be an event.
Yeah.
But we're not done there. We're not done.
No, we're not.
Now we're going to be getting into the meme material, I guess, of the group stage.
Okay.
Let's just start this.
Are you implying that the sumo bramble bush was not a meme?
I don't know how to categorize. That was like a physical challenge,
Okay, so it's like Double Dare.
Yeah. Like, we had the escape room. Like, sometimes you have physical challenges and stuff, and it can be fun, but dangerous. Sometimes you don't want these players doing anything.
That's
where
what
they
I was
can hurt
thinking too.
themselves.
So there was that part, we might get to it, but it's that little shark guy.
That's the next bit.
Okay, go ahead.
So now we're going to get into, and this is great. I think they went to nearly every team and gave them like something. They did something with every team, which I think is a big milestone to try to hit. Just involving every team at the event. And this is a major with a lot of teams. Involving them in some way is a huge challenge. And I think PGL, Slacks, Mally, whoever, were able to do that. Does it mean every bit was amazing? No, certainly not. The love was spread. Sometimes a little thin, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've gotten, sometimes players or teams will be like, we want to be in the, like, can you do something for us this time for like a summit or something? And we're like, yeah, and it makes us think, God, we really didn't include everybody, did we?
Which is crazy to be at that point, because before it was just like, for most players, I'd rather just play the game and do my scrims.
Yeah.
To be anywhere near a point where a team is like, can we be involved in a bit?
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
It's a great feeling, and I would just take it for what it's worth right there. If a team was like, we want to do this, and we have this kind of idea, then holy shit.
Yeah, right.
That would be amazing. But yeah, it's kind of getting there a bit. So let's get into these bits here. The first one, and some of these I will say is a bit hot and cold, so we'll try to cover both sides. Let's start out with the Vega trailer.
This March, Vega Squadron already has to fight against the world's best at the major. But unlike the other teams,
is
they
it a bear?
have a bigger problem. Their mascot is out for blood. Watch Vega survive Dota, but can they survive Big Willie? They can't run. They can't swim. They aren't just
play him
fighting to
with a
win.
fucking extension
They
cord.
are fighting to live. Bites in Bucharest, coming this week to a group stage near you.
Like, the first time I watched this, I'm just like, did they just really do that for a major? And then I watch it again, and I'm like, this is just so silly. And
It's
fun.
pretty,
I don't know.
I think what it really is carrying this whole bit on its back is the cuteness of the little shark.
The players' also willingness to like engage in it without being too
Yeah,
stupid. Running away down the hallway. We saw, oh god, I feel terrible. I want to say Cecil, but we saw him running down the hallway, like right here, and it's just like he's in on the action.
Yeah. It's okay. So my biggest gripe with this is when they're running in the first scene is to have them run at full speed and then just slow it down. I think that would look a lot more funny and like movie-like, which is what you're going for.
Yeah.
Other than that, I felt the same. I was like, that's kind of cute. Here is my issue with this. Like, if this is indicative of the way, if the community receives this and they say, oh, this is sick, oh god, yes, this implies that whatever budget and whatever resources that were available to the content team is okay, and that this is somehow now a bar that can be hit while saving money.
And it's a major. Again, it's like, I hate to just like throw that name in there, but this is supposed to be like the best of the best. So if there is a event or type of events to shell out that kind of production value and that kind of money to be able to do the bigger bits, you'd expect these bits to be able to do it. So yeah, and these ones, it does feel like it's like, well, we wanted to do quantity over quality more, and yeah, I don't know. So it's like, I enjoy this bit a lot, but I think you're right. It's like, I want to say I love it, but if we just say like, these are the best kinds of content, then I feel like you don't have to put any budget in anything ever.
Exactly. Like, at what point are organizers going to say, okay, this is our content budget, and like, Go ahead and just do what
It worked at that last event,
it
Slacks.
worked at Bucharest.
That last event, you did the shark thing. Just do some stuff like that again.
Yeah.
And then Slacks is like, I'm going to be stuck in a position again where I'm looking at a room and being like, let's do the couch monster or some shit like that.
And then all of a sudden, the bar just becomes very low, and it's actually harder to step above it again, because you are limited to resources based on the success of past stuff. So it's a hard situation because you're expected to do well with little. And if you do that, they say, good job, do it again one day. And that's kind of, it's concerning, you know what I mean? We should, high tide raises all boats, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little spooky.
It's hard because you want to praise for how much you're able to do with so little, but these are the type of events and the type of people that should be getting a lot more to do even greater things. So we'll see if that trend kind of continues here. This next one was a very special one. It hit with a lot of people. So let's check it out. This is the newbie ad.
Introducing the new fragrance for a new you. From Newbie. Ska. Cool
Can you
as
explain to me
caca.
ska?
Boogie just like
Is this like a
money.
Dota meme?
Well, SCCC is a
Restore
player.
your faith.
I just don't know why they have to spray it in
Make all
their face.
the ladies SCCCU. KP. All over your face. Newbie Ska, the second most popular fragrance in Asia.
Wonderful bit for how simplistic it was and how simple it was for the players involved. Why are they spraying cologne in their face?
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
spray
right.
cologne in your eyes, guys.
You know what? Honestly, okay, let's say you take a dude from 15 years ago, and he thinks Quake is pretty cool. I guess 15 years ago, it's a little past Quake. But some dude on the cusp of what esports then eventually became, and you just transport him 20 years in the future or something like that, and then he sees this, and he's like, this is a major esport. This is Dota 2. And it's very big and popular, and it's one of the biggest esports with the most resources going into it. And he thinks, is this is this some sort of meme wasteland now? Who is it? BTS's fault? What happened? This isn't a bad sketch. It's fine, but I don't know, man. I'm shook right now.
What don't you get?
I'm thinking about this in this huge picture of are memes all there is now? Is that the way to go? Is esports lame?
It's
is
what
that
people
why?
love. No, I mean...
Because if so, that's good. If that's what people want, I'm just I don't know. I'm having a moment.
People
anyway,
want something
it was
more.
funny.
They want something to remember because there's plenty of events out there that don't offer these kind of opportunities and would rather just stick with doing the interviews and maybe some of the player profiles, which, again, is something that PGL still managed to also do within this event. In addition to all the other stuff we just did, they also did get those a Dendy player profile and a Red Eye profile, which is what a lot of normal events would do. But it's something about those kind of meme moments and meme bits that get people talking about the event afterward and looking forward to it the next time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I understand the value. It's just I don't know. Sometimes just how many meme events.
there is something to say, and people were saying a lot, it's great. There's a good balance. We have Moonduck, we have BTS. They each do their own thing. Mm-hmm. They have their own special way of doing it. It's a bit different. It's fun and it's unique. And then we still get to have ESL, DAC, and what was PGL as the tournament esports professional, just down to the awesome gameplay kind of a thing. Now we have PGL just in the line.
Do you think there is a balance?
I think there was a pretty good balance, but
is it 50-50 right now? Or is it I mean, is it a good balance? That's better.
I want to say after seeing this and just there's captain's draft. I don't know. I feel like it's got to be close to 50-50. Almost the memes going more heavier.
Was the reception good on this? Did anyone make a thread that was fuck?
No.
That's good.
Yeah, everyone loved it.
Mission accomplished.
Everyone liked it. I don't know how many events it would take of kind of the similar formula, before people would be like, it's feeling a bit stagnant. We've seen a lot of these memes before. And the problem I saw in this event, and I hate to be that guy, is some of them are recycled.
Yeah,
there's some stuff that we had seen before.
The Cologne one is definitely seen before.
I love the way they applied this one. Now we had done a Cologne one. It was for Counter-Strike. It was for Dosia, and it was also around him. I like this one a lot. I thought it was very clever, very funny, and then the album artist stuff. Like some stuff has been done before, but I don't know. It's hard because at the same time you have to acknowledge that they just did so much.
It's true.
They did so much because where they had these kind of bits that felt very spontaneous, on the spot within what they had that stuff like the background, the player backgrounds. Like for Red Eye's piece, they apparently went out to UK for 3 days to film it. So that's great pre-production and production value. The Dendy story they also did, which I watched a bit of the Dendy story, and it honestly felt like free-to-play part 2.
Okay.
Which, if you've seen free-to-play, I don't think you really need to see it. You talk to Dendy, he's playing piano, and he did theater and dance, and piano transfers so much, and there's his mom. I'm like, this is free-to-play. I swear to God, we just saw this in free-to-play. So, but, Navi and Dendy's such a big name that everyone's going to want to see it. So I don't blame him on that.
Is Slacks Grant, is he the way he is in real life? Like on camera?
No, okay. I think you've made a huge mistake here. That's not Grant.
Wait, what?
That's Mally.
Wait, what are you talking about?
You're thinking Grant?
Yeah.
That's not Grant.
Holy shit. Wait, so Mally's the guy who's interviewing people?
Mally is the guy who's standing with Slacks right there with the tall spiked hair. Kind of looks like you almost a little bit.
No, Slacks. I'm just getting my names confused.
Oh, Slacks.
The guy who interviews people, is he the same way?
That's Slacks. Wait, what do you mean? Slacks?
Yeah.
That is Slacks as far as I know, through and through. That is Slacks as far as I know, through and through. Yeah, that's who he is. That's his guy. And by now everybody out there knows who Slacks is. But when he first came into the scene, you're getting what you are probably feeling the first time you're exposed to him, and you're just kind of like, what the fuck is this human Disney character chipmunk guy doing here?
No, I remember him. It was,
but it's just
I conflated him in the Walmart flair, which was Grant Gret, but I remember Slacks very well.
It's just he gets a lot of unique ideas. He gets a lot of players to do funny things, and eventually, the community is just won over by him. And like you said, it's he's kind of like the mayor of the scene right now. And I think it's a great thing. He brings a lot of good ideas and a lot of positivity to the scene, and he just does so much. I just fear for the guy doing too much almost at times, and a lot of his ideas just being almost overused or just, maybe people are just having him do too much at times is all.
Yeah, I've always thought that there should be a hard balance of 50-50 between creating something and consuming something as an individual person. So I hope he's spending his time also absorbing other things, because if not, you get stuck in a rut. And as someone who is basically hot bid light, I know how that feels.
All right, let's move on to another fun meme piece. This one features Liquid in their motivational commercial ad. Let's check it out.
Motivation. How do you find it in a game like Dota that can break you down? Now, you can hear the motivational words from the TI7 champs to get you through your
He doesn't
games.
even need to buzz.
We're cursed. We can't win a major.
Cleanse your soul. Presenting the Team Liquid Motivational CD, featuring real quotes from Team Liquid.
I like the
Quotes like,
I like that. I like anything that's an infomercial. It really gets me in my heart. You know what I mean? So
You grew up on infomercials.
yeah, I grew up on that weird era.
You just
of
know
TV.
this. I feel like I've seen an infomercial with the clouds and everything
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
So when they hit the notes of an infomercial, I feel like they hit them right.
Yeah, this is actually very Tim and Eric as well, which I'm a huge fan of.
Exactly.
Hey guys, let's shave our heads.
Also, this.
Be free, Willie. Never give up. Always follow your dreams.
I'm so curious how Slacks or whoever presented them
There's
with,
no justice in this world. You have to work for it.
if they're like, say this, or if they're like,
feels
say
good,
the most motivational
it's
thing you
good.
want. I don't care what it is.
Are these actual
a
quotes?
player. Why do I have to do this?
Not that I know of. I
Okay.
feel like that's what I said. I feel like they're either just like, hey, say something you think is inspirational, or
No,
say
James,
this, or just say a white cat.
Okay.
And they did it.
Can they hold you? If life gives you melons, you probably have dyslexia.
That was a little too bumper sticker. I definitely saw that on a Hot Topic t-shirt one day.
You can do it! Oops.
Actual game-winning advice sold separately.
Okay, so what I like about this one is like if you're trying to check off a bunch of boxes, involves top players, has them feeling positive, is a good format, is decently funny. This does everything. I think this is like in a way the sort of content in a box sort of thing that you can expect to be produced that hits all the marks.
Yep.
And that's good basically.
It felt good. Felt like it had to be an easy enough setup here. The editor, I did a lot of the heavy lifting, it felt like, in this one, but they were able to kind of, make everything look good. It felt like an infomercial. It was funny. I giggled, and I got the whole Tim and Eric feel. So I like that one a lot. This one, I think, was the next one here, I think was the first, like, meme bit that went out for PGL, or that kind of hit the Reddit page here. And this was my first impression on the PGL. I was just like, here we go. So here is OG's Chef Gustav. There.
Yeah.
All the tournaments was great, but we're always looking for a way to make money on the side. Therefore, we open up our own restaurant, S Forks.
I like S Forks. That's really fucking funny as a name.
Where's the lamb sauce?
I used to be 380 pounds before I ate S Forks cooking.
What a weapon.
Now I'm in great shape.
He was like
and I'm
pouring
great.
soy sauce in
Bring
it.
me the fries, you donkey.
I love that. That line was really
He says it
good.
and looks at the camera like, did you see me say donkey?
That line,
It's fucking raw!
not
I used
cool.
to be an analyst at the International, and I hated my life. I thought my career was over at this point, until I tried an S Forks food. S Forks food. This is what changed my life and made me a player.
To go Rezo with the acting.
Oh, fuck right off.
I've been to many places around the world. I've traveled everywhere. But I've went to Paris, I've went to Toulouse,
I like this.
I've went to Paris. But nothing beats S Forks.
What are you?
I'm an idiot sandwich.
You're an idiot baguette.
I'm an idiot baguette.
Come eat at my restaurant. It's good stuff.
I mean, the restaurant is okay, but clothing business is the shit.
So that was like the first thing. And that, I gotta say, that bit is definitely better
One of the
after you
stronger
watch
ones.
it the first time.
It's
First
the-
time I was kind of like, what is happening right now? And then it got better. After I
Yeah,
watched
it's
it.
definitely one of the stronger ones. I think the format didn't sort of require the half talking head thing, and I thought that it would have been funnier to have like one design of like S Forks, like a logo. I think that would have been cool to show. But I think all the players involved did really well at like playing along. No one was an absolute brick.
Yeah, OG's there. Like, OG's been through these enough where they will play along. Them, complexity. Like, there's a certain set of teams that it's like when you know that you're going to save that harder type of content for. Like, let's say, like, and a lot of time we come up with an idea for a bit first and just know that we're going to need a special type of team to be able to pull it off. Maybe like a simple one I could think of is at the last Dota Summit when we had the VR bit where we did the bomb diffusing challenge. I knew that was going to require teams that are very vocal and are able to kind of like have leadership and keep talking to each other. And I was like, well, we got to have complexity do it right away. Swindles is just going to keep loud mouthing his way through it, and they're going to play along. And they were great. So OG is also one of those kind of teams where if you're going to give them something funny or something unique to do, like they are a team that can play along.
That's probably why they gave them this sort of more engaged bit where there's a lot of lines.
Yep.
There was writing here.
And the main character is S4. And I'll know first, S4 is coming from a place where this dude is like a mute. Like,
yeah.
I've had to interview this man a good share of times, and you're lucky to get like 3 words out of him. Like, how was that game? It's good.
Yeah.
It's Gustav. It's like, but here he's the star of the show. Maybe he's happens to be a big Hell's Kitchen Gordon Ramsay fan, so he's like, I'm gonna just really channel it in. But he did a pretty good job. Maybe not all the lines were delivered the best. Like the raw line is maybe the only one I'm kind of like that.
They should have put that line. It's too on the nose.
Yeah, but some of the other ones are just wonderful.
Yeah,
you know?
no, the donkey line is good. Everyone, I feel like players are always so hard to get to act. And there's a line in which you can cross where it's bad acting, but it's charming.
Yes,
and
exactly.
they nailed it.
Yep.
And so that's good.
Yep. Good for OG, good for PGL, Slacks, Mally, and the crew. Love that one a lot. For the last little meme bit, and there were a couple of others. If you guys want to check them out, be sure to go look at PGL's YouTube page. This one is my favorite of the little meme team intro things, and this one is EG's. So
Okay.
It's EG's PSA.
Are you young and talented and think you can be the best player in the world? Do you think with a little bit of training you could be the best leader in Dota? Have other teams let you down in the past and you're looking for a fresh start?
It's a
Have you
PNG
not
of
bathed
NyQuil.
in flowing weeks? Do you only purchase Battle Furies?
Well, don't join my fucking team. Join Optic or Complexity if you want to play lands for fun.
PG. There's only room.
Even Fear, did you see when he turned back and he's just like, he doesn't even want to like do that bit.
Yeah,
he's just like,
I know. When he turns back and gets like, I hope that was fucking right because I don't want to do it again.
Yeah. Ooh.
But it's good because Slacks it's like they know Fear is almost quite the opposite of what we were just talking about. Like he is the one, like if you want him to get involved in bits, you got to give him something special or a way to be able to participate without having to do all that extra shit. Fear doesn't really care about that shit. Fear cares about coming, beating ass, playing the game or whatever. So Slacks looks at that and he's like, I'm just going to channel that hard ass self.
That insane, look at that stare.
But if I
that
give
smoldering resentment.
I feel like you can almost go to Fear and like, Fear, we want you to just say this line. And he's looking at it, and it's like a, go fucking play with Optic or Complexity. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll fucking do it, whatever. And do you think it worked better as it is, where he's like looking away and like smiling, like what the fuck, or do you think he should have just nailed it?
I wish he would have nailed it. Yeah, that's a sort of a break in tone that, I mean, the whole thing's kind of a little wacky, but I don't know.
There are fun little meme notes along the way. You have Crit with the Winter Wyvern, Bulba with the Nyquil. I must have missed that. Is Bulba sucking down Nyquil that I don't know about? Anyone know that? I'm missing them. Someone please tell me what Bulba and Nyquil have to do with anything. But yeah, then Fear comes in and he just hits the audience with the sudden like, fuck everyone else in the fucking world, whatever, and you're
yeah, I it's hard too because like he did that and you can't really say, hey, can you do it again?
Yeah,
like that's hard.
Yeah,
that's hard to say to a man who does not want to do it.
I guarantee that was a one take go, unless he fumbled the words. Like once he got the line right, they took it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, thank you so much. Like
they had EG do a lot. Like I'm only showing like this bit, but they had the vampire drawing thing, and I believe they participated in at least one other thing. And to get EG to do that much, I think is pretty cool. Because it just goes without saying, some teams are all about the content, some teams are all about what's important, playing the game and doing well and making money. All right, so that was a lot of the meme features from the group stage. We're getting ready now to set sail, going to the main stage here. I'd already acknowledged these bit, but again, if you wanted to check out the story of Dendy, aka Free to Play 2, or the story of Red Eye, which is very cool, go check them out on the PGL YouTube page. They did do one other small extra bit here. It was Women's Day, apparently, an International Women's Day. I don't know if that's true or not, but this is an intriguing bit because I don't know.
I thought the bit itself was pretty funny, but I hated the idea that it's like it's International Women's Day. Like, which one of these women like want to like think that it's kind of like a
the subject matter
idea.
Is a little interesting. Instead of just like. I mean, we'll check it out, but it felt like, who would you bone of these pictures here? It's kind of like who it felt.
That's kind of like, I don't like that, but the bit itself, without that sort of weird framework, I think it's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I liked how they were little Tinder profiles.
And cool and and cool and topical and taking advantage of, hey, it's Women's Day, let's do something. It's great. It's, Slack's Mally content team thinking on the spot with what they got. And, this is tricky to do now because we're coming from a history, and I want to say, I can't remember if it was PGL or ESL, but they had a famous video back in the day for all the ladies or whatever. Have you heard about this?
No.
I think at the end of one of the tournaments, they played a video that just showed all of the women in the crowd and all the women like at the event. It was the last event at Bucharest. The last event at Bucharest, they just showed this woman video. It was just a bunch of women at the event.
Was it like, were there words on it? Like, here's the women.
No. It's just women shots with music. And it was
so
like how they closed out the event.
What?
Yeah. So you got to be careful. You know, since then, we've had the Me Too thing. We've had a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're going to jump into a woman's bit, you got to do it right. Here, it didn't feel like that at all. It didn't feel like there was any awkwardness about that. So that's a good hurdle to get over. It was a good, timely bit. But let's check out the PGL International Women's Day bit.
Everybody, today is National Women's Day. Well, not really today because you guys are going to be seeing this later at the event, but trust me, today is National Women's Day. So we're going to go out and talk to some of these ladies here in beautiful Bucharest and ask them some questions about our Dota 2 players. Mostly, which ones are kind of a catch. Let's go check it out.
Yeah, this didn't need the intro. Like, you just literally like be like,
Okay,
we're gonna do this bit. Here it is.
It's International Women's
I don't
Day.
need to
Let's go
frame
talk
it.
to some women.
All right,
Yeah,
you guys are
you don't
going
need
to
to
be
frame it
showing
like
some
that,
of our
but-
Dota players. They play a video game called Dota 2. Tell us to stop when you find somebody that you would consider going on a date with, all right? And go. No?
I also feel like there should have been a better system to shuffle.
Yeah.
Maybe like a tablet and you just kind of click through.
Could have been limited on time and resources
Yeah,
again,
of course,
but I
of course.
agree. Like if you
Any
wanted to do this, you
particular
could, tablet swipe through would have probably been the best. But here they're like,
He's beautiful.
Oh,
he's just beautiful.
That's what he is.
All right, we still have
She
you.
calls it like she sees it.
Yeah, it's like, here, stop me on the first person that you would go on a date with.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you shuffle these cards?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, back. Okay,
I
here
gotta say,
we
there's
go.
some
That was a quick
decent
one.
looking women in Romania, though.
Whoa.
Yeah, I
They're
feel like
finding some good camera talent for this.
Beard.
Oh, it's the beard.
Oh, if I'm not mistaken, Wepas gets picked the most in this, too. Wepas the god.
Yeah.
The Swedish Observer Overlord.
Yeah, bus.
You think that's one?
Okay.
It's weapons again. Why?
Dude,
He's just
Wepas
got
is
it
just
like that, dude.
The beard?
Thought that he has something
This
that
is-
makes me something mysterious.
Take your time.
And,
Oh my God.
and he is
He
mysterious.
is, dude. No one knows the man
you don't
behind the
have to say no
curtain
on
who
that one.
controls the camera.
No.
No? I love, it's good that they don't, the thing is though, do you want to show the players that were rejected?
But no.
No,
this
yeah,
way they don't.
and they don't, and that's
yes.
nice.
That is nice. You don't want to like, they probably like quickly went through
for me
X
because
player.
you don't
Yeah.
I don't even want to pick a name out.
What do you mean we don't have a young kid?
I'm very young and
Oh, Jerix. I mean,
He's pretty young.
Jerix is also a good looking lord in himself with the hair.
Oh, instant. All right. That was the puppy there.
Puppy.
Any
That's a
reason why?
youthful puppy pick too, as well. All right, Kevin. I think we've. But look, I was ready to watch this whole thing.
Yeah,
again.
it's a great
It's a
bit.
good bit. It's a good bit. I'm intrigued because
also they had Arteezy's picture with him. Was that a fedora?
Oh, it might have been Sumail's with the fedora.
Oh, I thought it was Arteezy.
I mean, he's probably worn a fedora before. Too.
Yeah.
But there is a famous like Sumail fedora picture. I kind of wish they showed us all of the pictures at the end. Oh,
everyone
they
was
picked
working with.
Ziori on that one.
With his BTS shirt even.
I
What a
they
throwback.
They should have thrown in a Ziori with the dreads as well, though, just to be like, what if it was
mix-up.
this? What if I told you that this man was this man? No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah,
I won't
it's
say
a good
right.
bit.
It's a great bit. Look,
and so
they found so many people perfect for this too. He even went and I think got like an old lady as well, or an older lady as well.
Oh,
Here,
Fly
here.
was showing his abs. Christ.
This is a great bit. I thought it was very good. One of the better like on the street kind of bits. So again, a lot of props to PGL on that one.
What does this guy look like? It looks like an actor on the right.
Mally? Yeah.
I haven't watched
Oh,
Silicon
yeah,
Valley.
and Office as well. What's his name?
Fuck. No, you're thinking of
No, he is. He's got the hair. He dates the
yeah.
secretary for a bit.
I forgot his name.
You gotta find us. Zach Woods.
It's like someone else. He looks like shit. It's this is gonna kill me. All right.
Do I really want to like bring up the Zach Woods picture here? Let me see, and show it to the camera. I wonder if he's heard that before. People in the past said I look kind of like Zach Braff.
Zach Braff, like
Scrubs.
I don't see it a single bit.
Dude, he does. This guy, Mally does look like Zach Woods. And if you don't see it, you're crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. It looks just like him.
It looks just like Mally, dude.
That's really funny.
He's a good-looking guy.
Woods.
Okay.
Anyway,
fun bit, real good. Let's keep trucking forward, team. Hope everyone's enjoying their wonderful Monday as we get started on the podcast week. I guess this is a good little sellout opportunity. A lot of podcasts do their sellout mid-podcast, right? Do you think that's better or doing it at the end?
I don't know.
Tuned out.
I've never sold out in my life.
You came to this company. You sold out, sir. You have a podcast tonight?
Yes. Yeah. Bad Melee's tonight. Check it out on not this channel, but filmed down the
it's filmed
couple
right
feet
over
away
there on the table.
In the on the table.
And then Thursday's our patch countdown. So
I will also be present for that.
Please do, because it's just I don't even know what we're doing yet. We're gonna just we're waiting for the patch.
We just big chill.
Yeah. So if you want to big chill with us or ask us questions, come hang out. Come on our Discord, discord.gg/PTS. Okay, let's move on. PGL Bucharest. We just watched the Women's Day special. Now we're getting to main stage, but let's first hop into one more little piece of fun content that I liked. I thought the premise was good, but I wasn't sure if this had been done before. I think it has, but I couldn't find it. It's they couldn't get the name of it right, though, because they named it a couple of things. It's the Who Said That or He Said What with Optic Gaming.
Right, yeah.
They did this with Secret as well, and I thought it was pretty good. So let's check out Optic Gaming's...
He said what?
He said what?
It's that game I created a while ago. You might have remembered it.
I like how...
he made it a while ago.
Here are the rules.
It's it's in MS Paint, and he just types it, and it's literally the MS Paint window. It's like, okay.
Yeah, you got it's a laptop is plugged into it right there.
It's pretty funny.
Again, it's very simple. I have looked up quotes from you guys in the past. They could have been from your in-game chat. They could have been from Dota 1 interviews with Gosu Gamer, and it could have been from anything. Your job is to try to find out who said the quote. You got to vote as a team. If you vote on the correct person who said the quote, you'll get 1 point. However, if you said the quote, your job is to convince the group that someone else said it. If you succeed in that,
is probably the best element to add to this game, and I think that's what made it better. And I didn't notice at first.
It's like
Mafia,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And it works in this mode because I think Peter at one point recognizes it's his tweet, and he tries to sell Quinn on it.
Yeah.
And this is the perfect team to do it with, because you have CCNC and PPD on this team, and they are some of the most infamous loudmouths on Twitter and on interviews. So it could be like anyone within that team. So, you know, it's a shame. I wish this had like better mics, better audio, better video, but the whole bit and the team is great.
They were also really into it, which I think is always a positive. Like, they were like, hell yeah, you know.
Which I think is credit to them coming up with the idea of the game, too. I don't think they would have been as hell yeah if this was just another one of... And, you know, I love Slacks, but he has plenty of games like this where he sits down with a team in a hotel room or a room, and some of the games are just flops and not good. They suck. But some of the games are amazing, and I think this is one of his better games. I didn't even realize that this is something he had done at a past event. He just said when we opened the bit, this is a game we played before, but... I mean, credit to Slacks, man. This is a really fun idea.
My biggest gripe was like, just mic up, like put a mic on these guys.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
You know, it's just a major. They don't have that kind of budget. I'm just kidding. Again, it's again where it feels like it's quality over quantity. They're just going to give them a certain amount to work with, and they're going to go out and do as much as they can. And they did a shit ton. So, if you want to watch the rest of this bit, you can catch it on their YouTube. They also played this game with Team Secret as well, which is a lot of fun because you got some fun characters on that. Of course, Puppy and Yapsor and such. Okay, now moving on main stage. This is like a high production value time here. We're actually already winding down to the end here because I got to say, as main stage kicked off, they were still airing a lot of the stuff they filmed during group stage, and then they just kind of weren't doing any more on like pretty much the last day and the day before. There was not nearly as much. They were kind of just getting the rest of it out and didn't do a whole lot with the actual main stage outside of your traditional stuff like interviews and recaps and such.
The whatever song they played when they came out,
oh my god, yeah,
was the worst song
to your knees
you could ever have picked. It like Oh God, the first YouTube comment on that song is insane.
What?
It's like because I found the song and the first YouTube comment is something like. This is good country, not like talking about your tractor or your girlfriend. This one's about gold, guns, and the blood you shed to get it.
Oh my God.
Super manly. That's like almost verbatim. And I was like, this is truly the Ouroboros.
I love that every time I play, like everyone was just Kokonas and everything, like just trying to throw up the most WWE NA America.
Fucking A, dude.
Which I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard the song and the team come out, I thought it was pretty damn hype. But when I heard it the like 9th time,
and I have this like weird, this like what do you call it, Pavlovian aversion to like because
Creed and
just like that sort of genre of jock rock or new metal or whatever you want to call it. It's like it did not age well. It did not sit well in the time it did hang out in cultural lexicon.
Even with like a blast of music and like pyro, you don't think it's enough to like
because
hit
you know what, if you're gonna do it whack, you better go full whack and like do the Big Show theme song from WWE. It's the Big Show. That's a fire fucking song.
I wonder like if they just didn't have enough like trademarks for like WWE style music, because that's gonna be hard to.
What if the glass just shatters and it's stone cold?
See, that'd be so badass, but you know you can't. But it'd be so cool if we lived in a world where we didn't care about that stuff and teams could pick their intro song.
That would be pretty cool.
And every team got to pick it, and then as they came out, you got to blast whatever it was.
I
Metallica,
think you can do that like at UFC, right?
They used to do that at UFC, but again, it's probably a whole process for them to be like, is it okay with the artist if we play it for 30 seconds and all that stuff? And then I think they ditched it altogether. I'm not too sure, but that'd be awesome. In this case, which we're about to hop into those team intros, so if you guys don't know what we're talking about, you'll see it for yourselves. We're going to show the team intros, which is like the video of here's the team looking hype, and into them entering into the main stage. So we're going to watch the show aspect of, are we getting hype for our favorite teams here? Let's check it out.
It's
Thank you,
a
Kev.
big show.
Quinn.
A persistent threat in their region. This team were winners of the NA Regionals.
Peter looks like he has fucking so much better things to do. He was like, yeah, whatever.
He's just like,
Get
I
the
don't
fuck
want
outta
to
here.
fucking be.
Check. TI winner. Check. Deadly teamwork. You're about to find out.
So my issue with this is like they couldn't decide what they wanted to be. They literally couldn't decide between being me.
Hold on, dude.
Yeah,
WWE.
right.
All right, pretty hype here, pretty hype.
Shadow Man. The Shadow Master.
Welcome on stage, Optic.
He's the ult.
Come on, you're not banging your head right now? This is the most Optic game.
It's about
song
gold,
ever.
guns, and the blood you shed to get it, bro.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Super abrupt cut.
Stop, rewind, we gotta play it again.
This was my favorite one.
Dude, I know.
This one, this one just fit everything.
But with new strength and ambition, they took Poland by storm to become the first team ever to win 2 pro circuit majors. And the third could be just
I am strong.
around the corner.
There. And the same song, which is also dumb.
Those souls were not yours to claim, Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
Welcome on stage, Virtus Pro.
When you
When you fall on your knees, let's go. And little boys in sweatpants walking down stage.
Like, I don't want to meet the person who likes that song. I can live my entire life without like meeting that person. I'm like, yeah.
You might not have to. So I thought it was cool. Let's start with the video portion. It's funny. Like they have a unique little. I don't even want to say unique. Actually, they have a setup with light bulbs, and they clearly are like, go in there, do something with the light bulbs, do something, go. Some of them are playing with the light bulbs. They're doing their own thing. I just love the variety because you never going to get. Because let's start with Optic Gaming here. You start with CCNC, who is now taken this oath to be awkward in every video and photo possible, which I think
he swore on the awkward Bible.
I think it's hilarious. If you look at, like, I think they showed their photo when they first entered. He's got like the, like, he just does the face now and everything. He's like this whimsical little man in the beginning of the light bulb one.
An imp.
So where you have that, someone who's embracing it, just taking it to the weirdest level possible, then you get Peter, who's just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here.
He
but
literally did the finger guns, like rolling his eyes, like whatever.
Like fingers, thumbs up. It's so half-assed.
That one wasn't good. Because for one, it wasn't enough, like, and it was trying to decide what it was trying to be, like half-assedness plus intense editing. But the Virtus Pro one was funny because I feel like every time there was
goofy.
Everything changed in such a dynamic way. Like, you could go in and break down the entire every cut. Is that it just felt way more concise, and all the little visual vignettes were actually pretty funny. He's biting the light bulb. That was pretty good, and I saw that and I was like, I like this one a lot. Despite my thoughts on everything else, I was like, this is, for some reason, this really touched me.
I think the team's probably a lot to credit for that. I don't want to like discredit PGL, like, oh, you didn't do enough with this team and the light bulbs or some shit like that, because essentially
that's a long ass day.
You're gonna get what you're gonna give them, and yeah, it was probably a crazy ass media day of stuff apparently. So a lot of them were just in there and they're like, I don't know what to do. Just start counting the light bulbs. All right, done. All right, great, we got a bit. But where I will not give the extra credit to PGL and production is that this is not unique in any sort of way. The way they did these intros, the second these light bulbs showed up, I'm like, I know I've seen these light bulbs before, almost these exact same light bulbs before. I know I've seen this look before, and I found it within just very little effort. So let's check out E-League's 2017 Virtus Pro intro.
Oh, wow. You're really going to put them on blast like that?
I mean, come on, man.
It's the same!
It's the exact fucking same.
It's the light bulbs! Oh, my mans. The lion? I don't know.
Which Virtus Pro did you like better? I'm going to say I like the silly Virtus Pro.
I like the Dota 2 one better. And that one was also much shorter.
Much shorter.
And I think actually the Dota 2's Virtus Pro would have gotten a buff from being a little bit shorter. They could have cut probably 2 of those little bits.
I don't know which one, because like even the solo.
That one was sick.
I love Solo's
there were
little
two weak
move.
ones.
It's
Maybe
so
the rock
good.
paper scissors could have gone, and then there was one that was just similar to the rest. Those go, and it's like a 10 out of 10 intro.
Yeah.
And I know that's a weird sort of
just an isolated little team light bulb intro category.
Absolutely,
Virtus Pro's up there.
He gets the Oscar.
But originality, as far as the whole premise and the idea of light bulbs and stuff, it's been done before.
They didn't even make them a different color.
It honestly felt like PGL and an ESL intro put together, because you have an E-League. It felt like an E-League ESL intro hybrid, with maybe a PGL fun factor to it. So you have E-League's light bulbs and look. You have ESL's like cross visual patterns that they were cutting in. And then PGL added in the little extra meme silliness to it, I think. But
it's also with CS:GO, like they're cooler, man. They're stronger.
Dude, Pasha's just
and
there
they're better,
and just does this,
and
you're just like, God damn.
You can't tell Pasha biceps to fucking hit that meme, because he's already got the
all right,
hot
Pasha,
shit.
hit that mark and do your thing.
And he's just like,
hell yeah, I will.
No, but you know what I mean. They're like, we could get into that, but like CS:GO and Dota 2, there's a very different sort of culture within the top players and the player base themselves, and it's just funny because like when we did CS Summit, people were like, meme content, holy moly, because they were kind of starved for it.
Yeah,
for
there's
CS:GO.
really nothing else.
Dota 2, it's like we're the cup runneth over.
Yeah,
sometimes.
and we're trying to almost top each other, or like see if you can out meme the other person, to the point where some of these memes are just. It feels like they're just reaching out to the universe X with some of the ideas, and it's just like, let's try it. And sometimes it's a dud, sometimes it reinvents the whole meme game. All right, we're getting ready to close out the show here because
you know what they should have done? Drones with red bulbs when Shadow Fiend did the Requiem.
Oh shit!
Where's your drone budget, PGL?
Oh my!
What's
Can
the
you
drone
imagine like
budget
a
look
synchronized drone dance that just like, and it's like flies out, dude? Even just drones in an arena, just like flying out with lighting all over top.
Actually,
like
with
that.
fucking with I don't know, they'd probably get shit thrown at them.
That'd be
I would do it. I see a drone, I'm gonna throw something.
You're
at
gonna
it.
have like security guards like down the aisles, just like scoping the audience.
I don't want a
for any
robot.
throwers.
I see a drone and I'm threatened. I'm not gonna let that robot dictate, what I see.
With our luck, we'd host it, and one would fucking break, fall, hit someone in the head, and we get sued by that one person. So as we were getting into like the final peaks of the show, the extra content was kind of rolling back a bit, and they were more focused on the show itself. But we do like to wait. What is this? I put team intro VGJ, but I don't think we need to check that one out, Kevin. We'll skip that one because I think that's just another light bulb bit, and I decided to do the Optic VP one over that. But we're gonna get what we always like to do is like the GG call closing moment, because that's the end of the tournament, right? The winning team just got the win, like the other team just forfeited. So, what would you normally expect to happen at a tournament that moment hits?
What do you mean, like from the players?
No, from everything. Because like if I'm an audience member, like you're the audience member and you're watching and the show's about to close and they just won 3-0, GG's called.
So GG's called in game that moment right there.
Yep.
I don't know. They scream and they get really hype.
What about the show-wise, though? I mean, like, some would do, like, confetti blast off.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean. Fuck. You know what? I remember watching TI 2 or 3, and I don't know, in TI 4, and I don't know if it got any better, but after, like, it's just like them standing there, and Gaben's just, like, in, like, sweatpants. He's like, here you go. And it was always so weird. I'm like, they just won TI. So I guess that doesn't answer your question at all. I just hope to see.
Yeah, what would be like I guess the question is like, whether it even be for Smash or Dota or whatever, you're seeing like the hypest tournament of the year and the winner just won the winning set. Like, what would you expect from the tournament? Like, you're going to expect everyone freaking out. You're going to expect the player to be freaking out. But what do you expect the tournament to be doing to enhance that experience even more and really get you hyped?
Confetti cannon. Boom. Give it to the crowd. Boom, right on their face. Ooh, right? Like, that's what I think you should do. Confetti is super hype, and, you got to clean up anyway. Pyrotechnics, I feel like, are too much. I don't think pyrotechnics should be in esports. That's just a personal opinion.
How fast do you go from that point to getting them right to, like, the trophy, to the questions and stuff? Because there's a lot you have to remember.
Fast.
Yeah, there's a lot that, though, you have to remember that has to get done at that point. So GG's called, the team's going to be happy, they're going to get up and they're going to start walking towards the middle of the stage. But what they're actually want to do first is go to the other team and shake their hand and wish them a good game.
Right.
And then after that, they come back out, they would get the trophy presentation, and we would go into the interview or whatever. But it's tough because I always feel like it's so awkward with Dota and team games because you have to like wait, and then the other team is like they just lost. You're not gonna. Well, we lost. Let's go, guys.
Yeah. They have to
let's go shake their hand
there and commiserate for a while, like for a little bit, and then the other guys are gonna be popping off, hugging. Like, it's hard. I actually don't know. Also, do they give stage directions to the players before the set?
Yeah, sometimes they'll just. I would see tournaments like they would when you get to the
like
final
if you
two.
Win, do
if
this.
you guys win, we're going to be encouraging you to move center stage where the trophy is for the presentation or something like that, and they'll tell both the teams. I doubt they'll go like, if you're the losing team, can you please get up right away and go shake the hands of the winners?
Yeah.
But I'm sure TOs would love that.
If you lose, you need to fucking leave. Go. You lost.
Because I feel like for the best momentum swing, you'd want the winning team to win. You want everything to like blast off. Them to walk right away to the trophy, raise it up, and everyone be happy. But then you're like really disrespecting the other team at that point.
Yeah,
so that's why it always feels like there's a bit of a holdup at the end of these events, and it's hard to figure out how to do it right.
Well, in the Super Bowl, everyone just rushes the fucking field.
That kind of happened at the first Frankfurt major. I was the host. Actually, I feel like that was
People charged the mound?
Yes, they did.
Oh, no.
I was the stage host. I feel like that was actually one of my worst stage host performances at that event. But at the end... yeah, OG won and people ran on the stage.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was pretty hype, actually. But I can't remember at the time if they ended up doing like the opponent shake hand thing first and all that. Anyways, while I'm bringing this up is that it is just tough because I feel like there are those kind of moments where players are just sitting on the stage too long. Everyone feels awkward. You're kind of sitting there like, did they just win $500,000? Because I don't know if they won that or a talent show.
There was a moment they didn't know whether or not to grab the trophy or not. They were like,
should I touch it? Am I allowed to touch it?
They were happy and pumped up, but like they kept eyeing the trophy like some sort of like, something you.
Did we go to it now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and check out the closing moment here, Kevin, sir. When GG was called and the game was done.
GG.
Claim yet another major title.
Absolute weapons. Absolutely.
Yeah, congratulations, Virtus.pro, the first team that has already secured a spot at TI.
That's hype.
So you win all this money, and you already won the secured money from going to TI.
But this one was even more one-sided somehow. Like, VP looked absolutely unstoppable right now.
Players are going to come out. Casters are still commentating here.
This is good. This is flow. This flow's nice. This is a bad shot because they're standing there, hands in the jeans. You don't want to show this. They're waiting. They're waiting. They're waiting.
And it doesn't even look cheesy. It just
like
looked easy.
Hit the crowd. What do you do? I guess you got to show the guys, right?
Yeah, you can show the casters maybe briefly.
Look at them standing around.
You can see Toby back there. He's like, I want to just give them your champions. He does it. He's like, I'd rather. He even says it. It's like, I wish they would pick up the trophy so I could say this epic line when they have the trophy. You know?
Look at, that's not good.
Takes a little longer for them to come out, but they do.
They have to come out, right? And they have to. What is the solution while they're waiting for them to come out?
Yeah, you have to show.
What do you air?
Casters or the crowd.
But I feel like the guy, the cameraman who. There we go.
One more time, Virtus.pro.
The cameraman who doesn't shoot Virtus.pro and they're celebrating, that guy's like getting fired, or maybe he thinks he is. You know what I mean?
It's just so tough because like I don't know if this is possible, Kevin. If you can rewind it a little bit to just before they actually went, like maybe during like the handshakes.
That confetti's hype. Should have done that earlier.
I know, right? It's like one of those things like you want them to rush out, you want them to go right to the trophy and then hit the confetti, but here it just there's this pause. That felt like that should have been the peak moment right there. When he's like, they're your champions, and everyone's freaking out. But it's like, okay, hold on, we got to do the handshake. They got to come back out. And then they raise the trophy and quickly confetti shoots, and it's like, oh, well, that felt like a second win.
Yeah.
Let's see it here. I just want to see it because this is our last little moment probably for this tournament.
One more time, it's
yeah, it is quiet.
One more time, it's Virtus.pro. And then, boom, then the confetti will finally go off.
I don't feel like there's a complicated solution to having a much more flowing and linear end sequence after a tournament.
It's not easy, though, for whatever reason, and, we've had to do a couple, it's like, it's just not easy to find, like, the perfect closing.
Well, a lot of
it's been done before, but it's just, like... Lots of stops
production,
and starts.
right? Like this I feel like could be remedied by cutting to the correct cameras while they were standing around and having a guy on the wire. If someone shows any emotion, boom, cut to Virtus.pro.
And in some cases they're great at that. I happen to notice they were so good about cutting to player cameras to catch those moments when maybe no one's like looking at it and giving them this shit's easy,
Yeah.
But then at the end there, it's a lot of hanging shots and a lot of like. I'm super hyped, but I don't feel like I'm looking at anything hype right now. What's going on?
Yeah.
So the ending just felt like it was a little short when you put it with that and the fact that I didn't see any new content coming out on the final day. Because a lot of events, like they'll put some of their best shit right before the grand final to be like, this is the hype. This is when most people are watching. Let's get out the good shit. And they did a very lengthy like recap of a lot of the event up to that point instead, which is good. Maybe you want just to get a TLDR of why we are here now in the tournament, but I don't know. It felt a little simple. I'm not too sure. Just kind of grabbing in a recap and throwing it in there, whereas it would have been something like more, it's grand final time, let's get into it. Some events do like a performance, which isn't any better really, but I don't know. I felt like on the last day, for all the sweet content we got throughout the whole event, there should have been like one more special piece of something to really get us stoked for the grand final.
Yeah, I think the solution here is you train each team to dance, and the winner dances, and the loser, they don't get to. So, maybe write that down.
Ballet dance, probably.
PGL, ESL. I got ideas. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let's talk about some closing notes. I tried to just gather some personal thoughts here about the event, and we'll give it the old letter grade, okay there, Slime?
Letters.
So remember, this event was riding on the coattails of ESL's Facebook event, so a lot of people were giving it a lot of initial praise just for being on Twitch TV,
Yeah,
just for being somewhere where we could easily watch and drop the lulls and drop all of our favorite emotes and stuff. So that's great and all, but I'm not going to give PGL bonus points for just being on Twitch TV. We're watching the show, just like I wanted to be fair to ESL and look past their Facebook stuff and be able to watch their content and their show.
Okay.
It was harder for me to collect those clips and get all that stuff, and they didn't even put a whole lot onto YouTube, and it was much easier to grab stuff for this event, which I like. But again, I'm gonna try to look past them just being on Twitch as a huge praise. So many short video goodies to watch early on as well. Like starting second day, we got content. Even at our events, it usually will take like a full day to start getting stuff edited and start pumping it out, and then maybe by day 3 you're getting all your really good shit out there. But no, these guys hit the ground running with content and just started shitting them out real quick. It was good. It was good. It left me curious on how they did their media day. I'm very curious. They have a good organized squad there.
Yeah, show us the Google Doc.
Show us the Google Doc.
We'll do anything.
Great PGL editing team to be able to kind of just take it. Can you imagine being the editor and they're just like, all right, this one's a motivational speech. This one is they're getting hit with pillows dressed as a Sumo man. The editor has to just take on everything and be able to make it into something watchable, and got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, and he's able to disappear and bend light.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The man is a god. Some of the stuff did feel a little too copy-paste from past products. Some of the stuff we have seen before. Other stuff was original and new, but we have seen some of the stuff before. So not really reinventing the wheel a whole lot. Because they had so much content and so much was happening, I really never felt like we were waiting and there was no wait screens or delays, which is always the ultimate goal for a lot of tournament organizers.
Yeah, that's big, yeah.
Is don't have wait screens. Don't just show a screen with a clock. Like, yeah, you got to have ad breaks. Tournaments have to make money to run events, duh. But, trying to make those ad breaks or sellout moments feel a part of the event, make it feel unique. Maybe it's within the content, make it feel like you're not waiting around and just bored out of your mind. I think PGL always had something going. So that was really great for him. I felt the talent was strong. I mean, I guess some people would classify like your, Red Eye, Cap, and Will, like these are your A-listers or some shit like that. And then Moonduck is, trying to move up in there, and some people didn't know what to expect. But I felt the Moonduck crew and a lot of their talent did a pretty good job here. They did great. It was a big win for Zyori, I'd say. I think he had a fantastic show. We got to see people like Brax as an analyst, who we haven't seen really on the big stage a whole lot. Maybe like Captain's Draft and some other stuff. Red Eye's there again, which is always good.
Can I just say, Cap, it sounds like exactly like a dude who used to do this show on Action Blast, which was on G4. It was called Kaiju Big Battle, which was just guys in monster suits fighting each other as if it was like WWE.
What?
And there was an announcer for the Kaiju Big Battle, and sounds just like Slacks.
Cap.
Or it's Cap, sorry. Maybe they're related.
Wow.
And I've thought that for years, I've wanted to know. So if you guys are related, please tell me.
I want to just check out the show because it sounds ridiculous.
It's Kaiju Big Battle. Anyway.
So with that, and then with the ending kind of feeling like it wasn't as strong as everything else, when it comes down to letter grade for PGL and the major, and there's a lot of other major events that we've seen so far.
Grading it on the whole?
I'm grading it in compared to like some of the other majors.
How good it feels on the whole.
On the whole, what's the whole to you? As a whole of majors, not like every event that's been out there.
No, I'm just like the entire event. And the content. Okay.
Yeah, as all the content, the show, everything between the games and after. And I don't mean to put you on the spot, Kevin, but if you have an ability to bring up the DPC chart or all the events that have happened or are going to happen, it would make it easier for us to kind of see what we've already seen or what's to come to be able to compare to this. Because I know there's been quite a bit of majors here. But I'm happy to start with this one. Off the top of my head, I feel pretty good saying that this is a B to B plus event for a major.
Hard C.
We're going to go C.
Yeah.
That might be our first C of any event.
Mine doesn't count. I'm not Ken.
You're a lot more strict, right?
I'm a lot. Look, I study comedy, okay? I'm a student. No, I just like, I know it sucks. Sometimes you can't get the resources you want and you got to push out a lot of stuff, but you got to call it like you see it, and I think it was a hard C.
Hard C?
The amount of bits that didn't work well bring down your grade because that's how averages work. So if a couple of those were cut, maybe move up to B-. But if we're grading it on the entire thing, you have to put the bad ones in there too, and that's what I grade it. But my opinion doesn't matter. I am
You're just a Smash
pleb. I'm just a Melee guy. You know, I only ever made it to 4.5K before the MMR switch. You know, who am I?
Garbage. Who are you?
I'm shit.
You are shit. No, greatly appreciate your opinion, of course. Let's look at the DPC as a whole here, what we've already been through, what we're going to be going into. We're only just a little over halfway, which is...
There's so many events!
It blows my freaking mind how many freaking events there are here. All right, so let's look at some of the majors that have happened so far here. ESL won Hamburg, where Virtus Pro won. Dream League, ESL won Katowice, which just happened, and the Bucharest major.
GSC's coming up too.
GSC is happening next week. That's where a lot of our crew is at right now.
Kenneth is right now.
Just a little minor though, but yeah, I don't know. I feel still pretty good about giving it a B.
Okay.
It's a lot of content, and I love having a lot of content, but you know, quantity over quality. Some of them are home runs. Some of them just kind of happened. But yeah, it's a great event. I'm looking forward. The next major is going to be the DAC event in China. And for all the Dota followers, of course, Virtus Pro sitting comfortably way up there at the top after taking down a couple of wins.
Look at all those points they have.
Jesus, almost 2,400 qualifying points. And then we have TI winners, Liquid, Secret, Newbie, Vici, VJ, Navi, Mineski, EG now below the top 8 mark here. No NA teams in the top 8, it looks like, at the moment.
Jeez Louise.
Even OG as well. OG have dropped down quite a bit. They're at number 10. My
Man,
goodness.
I didn't know that was OG's roster. That is a team of super strong boys, but I guess everything changes in the years. So.
Yes. The meta itself, or what have you, it's been an interesting set of developments for a lot of these teams. I'm excited to see where they end up going. But that's going to be wrapping things up. You're a C. I'm a B, maybe almost floating to a B+ on this one, but it was a good show priority.
Look, if the couch bit was gone and the Vlad bit was cut in half, I'd bump it up to B-.
Okay, fair enough.
Average-wise.
Fair enough.
That's it.
All right. That is going to conclude our show priority for the PGL Bucharest Major. I want to give props once again to the PGL squad, to Slacks, to Mally for putting on a great show, a lengthy show, a lot of content. It was a good time. I know we'll be seeing plenty of those guys in the future.
I want
Mayor
a coin
Slacks.
with Slacks with a top hat on it.
Do you think there'll be a point where either Slacks like fucks up in some way or people get sick of him?
They hate him again? Or not
like
again.
He accidentally spouts some racist thing. Or
I mean, Toby did all right.
He's getting there, man. I remember at last DAC, like, he had the idea. There was an idea where he went up on stage with, like, a rice hat and everything.
Oh,
and
no.
he actually did it.
On some Jake
and,
Paul
like,
shit?
He was, like, convinced at the time, like, he was about to, like, lose his job and everything.
Jeez.
I don't remember if it was initially his idea or someone else's idea, and he's like, I'm stuck doing this thing. But he did it, and no one really cared. It just happened. I'm like, he's a god. He's a god.
He's untouchable.
At that point, I knew Slacks was immortal when he could just go up on stage in China in a rice hat and just do whatever the fuck he wanted. So
Good Lord. Yeah, that's power.
Good for you, dude.
Yeah.
So we'll be seeing the god more in the future, I'm sure. Thank you so much again. We will be back Thursday for a patch countdown show. It'll be me. Slime will be hanging out again. Maybe LD will pop by. We're just waiting for the new patch. That one's going to be starting at 10 a.m. If you still love podcasts and you love Smash and you love Slime, you can catch out his podcast later tonight, the Bad Melee Podcast. Where is it again? Bad Melee?
It's at twitch.tv/SlimeIRL.
Sweet. If you want to support our company, our shows, and all of our new products, please hit us up on our Design by Humans shop. We got all the sweet merch, as you can see at the head of the table. If you wanted to get yourself a BTS mug,
we're gonna get a
shirt,
one that says Slime Cocks.
Slime Cocks.
Or Cock
Slimy
Slime.
Cocks.
I don't think we should do that, actually.
No, we should do that. Let's get Europe David to make a logo of that show.
Cock Slime.
We keep changing out our merch depending on the show that's coming in. I'm actually sporting our CS shirt right there right now. All right, gang.
It's a good gym
been
shirt, by the way.
It does feel really nice. All right, we got to really stop right now. Take care, gang. We'll see you Thursday and such for more podcast action. Have a good one now. Bye.